Move my camera to a position that is easy to use. There we go. So this week I'm actually going to go a little bit further back than the work stuff, although I've got quite a lot of interesting stories. But it kind of, something popped into my mind and I thought, you know what, I'm going to share it because, you know, that's what I'm going to do. And this was kind of in my preparation for work, really, kind of end of university days, just before work and then work. In fact, I'd used this in university in our second year, and that's Linux, or Linux, however you want to pronounce it. And the story is this, that when I first downloaded and installed Linux, it came on around, I don't know, about 90 floppy, 3.5-inch floppy disks, so the 1.44 megabyte ones. I remember having to download every single floppy image, and then I can't remember the actual full details of it, but you kind of downloaded the image and then you basically created the 90 floppy disk, which in itself was a feat, hours of work just to do that. And then to install it, you basically have to give up your afternoon because it would take 2-3 hours to install. You basically have to go through. So the option you chose at the very beginning would decide what floppy disks you had to put in, and it would basically prompt you for each one. And then once it installed, you then have to go and recompile the kernel and all that kind of stuff. It was quite a long task. But then I got the first commercial version, CD version of, I say commercial, the first CD version of Linux, which I'm going to butcher the name now, something like Yggdrasil or something, YGD Draskell or something. I'll put a screenshot of the wiki on there, and that was like all the images but on a CD. But you still had to give up about 2 hours because you'd literally start to install and it would prompt you yes, no for every single package on there, so it would take a long time. But it was a fun time. It was something that was really interesting because it got me to kind of, you know, I did it so I wanted to learn more about Unix, and it's a game of the opportunity. So yeah, it's a short and sweet one this week. I just thought I'd kind of share that because it popped in my head that today it's literally a fire and forget image. Like you install something like Ubuntu and you literally just put it in and it installs. But going back 20 something years, you had to literally sit at your computer for about 2 hours saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, 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 no, no. And then by the time it finished, you still only had a CLI and you had to install a UI. There's lots of different UIs, and then UIs, interfaces, and then you had to kind of run that. You'd boot into the CLI and then you'd do that. So a lot of the work where I'm working on Unix stuff now, I can do on the CLI because that's how I came up, if it were. Whereas a lot of the new engines I see actually all used to UIs, so therefore they don't struggle, but they have to relearn to do things in the CLI or you know, figure out the commands. So yeah, that's a bit of history that's not computer based, well, not work based I should say, but it's part of the computer history. Is Linux used to be on about 98 floppy disks and it took you about 4 hours to install it. Fun afternoons. Right, I'm going to go. It's a short and sweet one this week. I may do another program. I'm learning or relearning Python. I'm doing that through LeetCode. So I'm going to try and post one of those a week as well, maybe on a Saturday or something like that. So this one will be Wednesday and that'll be Saturday. Yeah, next week I'll go back to some of the work stories I got, because there's at least one I really must get out. It's a little bit later than the stories I've been doing so far, but it involves keyboards and smashing. So look forward to that one. Okay guys, catch you later. Bye for now.